Today on Inquirer, Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri signs enrolled copies of the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill. Senate begins its probe on overbooking and offloading complaints against low-cost airline Cebu Pacific.
We express our sincerest apologies to our passengers for the disruptions and assure you that we are committed to resolving these challenges.
Department of Health rolls out bivalent COVID-19 vaccine jabs for the elderly and healthcare workers. And YouTube takes down channel of Pastor Quiboloy for allegedly violating rules. Good evening. Senate President Juan Miguel Zubiri signs the enrolled copies of the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund, a step closer to President Bongbong Marcos' signing of the measure. Zubiri also signed the enrolled bills for the extension of estate tax amnesty. In a statement, Zubiri says the Maharlika bill is a priority measure, while estate tax amnesty extension is time-sensitive. He adds many are waiting for the bills to be approved. According to Zubiri, the Maharlika bill, which was certified as urgent by the President, will be sent to the House of Representatives for the signature of Speaker Ferdinand Martin Romualdez. Only after the Maharlika bill is signed by both the Senate President and the House Speaker can it be sent to the palace. Meanwhile, Zubiri said that the estate tax amnesty bill is set to be sent to the President for his signature. The Senate begins its public inquiry into the barrage of passenger complaints against a budget carrier, Cebu Pacific. The investigation was prompted by a resolution calling for a probe into the Cebu Pacific's alleged overbooking, offloading, and glitches in booking flights. Senators also received passenger complaints against AirAsia and Philippine Airlines. Cebu Pacific, through its Chief Commercial Officer Alexander Lau, apologized to passengers affected by the disruptions in their flights.
We express our sincerest apologies to our passengers for the disruptions and assure you that we are committed to resolving these challenges. We value the trust and confidence of our passengers and are committed to providing safe, affordable, and reliable flights. Naintindihan namin na responsibilidad pa rin namin ito bilang serbisyo publiko.
Lau then enumerated several factors that affected Cebu Pacific operations, from global supply chain issues to ground damage caused by unexpected severe weather events.
We recognize that global supply chain issues are further worsening the situation and causing additional delays in aircraft deliveries. As a result, we have experienced delays ranging from anywhere between 2 to 5 months, whereas pre-COVID, these aircraft would normally arrive on time and ahead of schedule.
Flag carrier Philippine Airlines also said it is suffering from the ongoing global supply chain problem. PAL Vice President for Legal Affairs Maria Clara de Castro said they were not offering any excuses, as they likewise apologized to the public, especially their passengers.
We do confirm that like Cebu Pacific, our operations have been affected by the global supply chain shortage that is currently ongoing. We're not offering any excuses. We are fully aware of the inconvenience to our passengers. Kaya po humihingi kami ng sinserong paumanhin sa publiko sa aming mga pasahero.
The YouTube channel of alleged sex trafficker Apollo Quiboloy has been terminated. Team YouTube addressed platform concerns by responding to a tweet about Quiboloy's channel potentially reaching victims. Quiboloy, the self-proclaimed Son of God, is the founder of Kingdom of Jesus Christ. He has been tied to multiple controversies, including the 2008 killing of Datu Dominador Diarog, a tribal leader in Davao City. Quiboloy is currently on the FBI's most wanted list for alleged sex trafficking. He is also a known close associate and the spiritual advisor of former President Rodrigo Duterte. The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology says Mayon Volcano continued to show intensified unrest or magmatic unrest. Phivolcs reports 2 volcanic earthquakes, 299 rockfall events, and 7 dome collapse pyroclastic density currents were on display from 5 a.m. on June 20 to 5 a.m. on June 21. According to Phivolcs, Mayon Volcano is still under alert level 3 due to potential explosive activity within days or weeks. Meanwhile, Mayon's very slow effusion of lava flow remains at 2.5 kilometers along Miisi and 1.8 kilometers along Bonga gullies within 3.3 kilometers from the crater. Phivolcs warns locals of lava flows, rockfalls, and other volcanic hazards that might occur within the area. Earlier, state volcanologists said that Mayon Volcano's unrest might continue for at least 3 months after reviewing its data on the volcano's activities in 2014 and 2018. The government officially begins the rollout of bivalent COVID-19 vaccines, with President Bongbong Marcos urging unvaccinated Filipinos to get jabbed. Jean Mangaluz has the report.
The Philippine government rolled out its first round of bivalent COVID-19 vaccines, with President Bongbong Marcos Jr. attending the event himself. At the Philippine Heart Center in Quezon City, around 2,500 healthcare workers are expected to receive the additional immunization within the next 3 days. Department of Health Secretary Teodoro Herbosa himself was able to receive a dose. Afterwards, he needed to sit down due to high blood pressure following the dose. Bivalent vaccines were created to battle both the original COVID-19 strain and its more contagious variant Omicron. During the launch, Marcos Jr. urged unvaccinated Filipinos to get the COVID-19 jabs for the protection of their families and the public. According to the Department of Health's latest COVID-19 vaccination update, at least 79 million people have received their first and second doses against the disease.
That this occasion serve as a call to every Filipino to continue doing your part, get updated on your COVID-19 vaccination to prevent the resurgence as a means of honoring those who sacrificed their lives during the pandemic. I thus appeal to everyone, especially those who have yet to receive their primary series of vaccinations, to get vaccinated against COVID-19. This is not for your own good alone, but also for the protection of your families and the general public.
Meanwhile, negotiations with Covax for about 2 million bivalent vaccines are ongoing, said Herbosa.
Meron akong nadidinig na 2 million in negotiation. 2 million doses in negotiation. I cannot tell you the date yet, but we're waiting for that. Covax will help us to get that 2 million.
In June, 400,000 bivalent doses arrived from the government of Lithuania. Herbosa had previously stated that there are not enough bivalent vaccines for the entire country. According to the health secretary, the vaccines will primarily be used for the elderly and healthcare workers. This is Jean Mangaluz reporting for INQUIRER.net.
U.S. President Joe Biden calls Chinese President Xi Jinping a dictator. Biden made the remark a day after Secretary of State Antony Blinken met Xi on a trip to China that was aimed at easing tensions between two countries. The U.S. President points out that Xi was very embarrassed when a suspected Chinese balloon was blown off course over the United States in February. Biden said the incident was, quote, a great embarrassment for dictators, noting that Xi, quote, didn't know the balloon was there. The incident and exchanges of visits by U.S. and Taiwanese officials have recently magnified U.S.-China tensions. But Blinken and Xi on Monday agreed in their meeting to stabilize the intense rivalry between Washington and Beijing so it did not veer into conflict. Philippine Ambassador to the United States, Babe Romualdez, sees no consequence on the country's relations with America if the Philippines declines its allies' request to accommodate 50,000 Afghans. In a television interview, Romualdez was asked if Manila-Washington ties will be affected if the Philippines does not grant such a request of the U.S. Romualdez says it wouldn't be an issue, believing there is mutual respect between the U.S. and the Philippines. However, he points out that sheltering the distressed Afghans is the morally right thing to do. He adds that humanitarian acts such as this help boost the nation's relationship with foreign countries. But the ambassador likewise defended the Department of Foreign Affairs, emphasizing that it is equally necessary to critically examine the Afghans before entering the Philippines. For its part, the palace said it is still evaluating the U.S. request. According to Romualdez, the Philippine government should be able to make a decision on the matter by mid-July. Alamin naman natin ang mainit na balita sa mundo ng showbiz kasama si Irvin Santiago ng Bandera. Irvin?
Hi Neil at sa lahat ng mga kabandera natin all over the universe. Ito na nga ang latest Bandera Chika. Eat Bulaga pa rin. Yan ang sagot ni Bossing Vic Soto nang tanungin kung ano nga ba talaga ang magiging titulo ng programa nila ni Tito Soto at Joey De Leon sa TV5. Sabi ni Bossing, hindi raw siya papayag na basta na lang agawin ng kung sino-sino lang ang titulong Itbulaga, kaya ipaglalaban daw talaga nila ito. Wala pang final title ang bagong programa ng TVJ sa kapatid network, pero nangako sila na ibabandera nila ang gagamitin nilang titulo kapag umere na sila sa July 1. Gusto raw nila itong gawing sorpresa para sa lahat ng mga dabarkads na naghihintay sa pagbabalik nila sa telebisyon matapos ngang mamaalam sa Tape Incorporated at GMA Network. Pero isa lang ang siniguro ng TVJ sa bago nilang show. Babalik ang Pinoy henyo at bawal judgmental plus more, better, and newer portions lalo pat magiging hands-on na sila sa buong production. Samantala, hindi naman napigilan ni Bossing at Joey na maiyak habang nagpapasalamat sa TV5 na nagbigay sa kanila ng bagong tahanan. Sa katunayan, hindi na halos nakapagsalita si Vic at napatungo at umiyak na lamang. Sinalo naman siya ni Joey pero hindi rin ito napigilan ang kanyang pagluha.
Nakakaiyak talaga. Katulad na nabanggit ni MVP, ang feeling namin para kami si St. Joseph, si Mama Mary, na naghahanap ng bahay, di ba? Hindi ko naman sinasabing ito yung sapsaban, napakagandang sapsaban ito. Napakalaki. Pero binibigyan ng, yung nagbigay ng tahanan, tulad ng binagit ni MVP. Papasok ko naman sa'yo. Thank you. Salamat.
Thank you is not enough. More than thank you. Not only kind words, but very different approach coming from somebody that is high up there when it comes to business. At pagkatapos ay biglang gusto tulungan yung iconic program. Napakalaking bagay po sa amin at sa ating mga kababayan.
At yan ang Bandera Chika natin today. Thanks, Neil.
Maraming salamat, Irvin. And these are the stories you need to know today. I'm Neil Mercado. Follow INQUIRER.net on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, and Reddit. For more stories, visit INQUIRER.net. Good evening.